Hey folks, Todd here. Today we're going to install the FRC-4000 from RealTruck on this Ford F-150. The tools we'll be using for this installation are a ratchet with a 7/16 and 9/16 sockets, a 9/16 wrench, scissors, and a tape measure. Let's go ahead and get started. Now we're going to start out with our fiber canister protector. This is RealTruck's truck tread material. We're going to flip it upside down. On the bottom side, you're going to notice we've got a couple of hook and loop sections. And what we're going to do is we're going to attach our adhesive hook sections to those loop sections and cut them into place. Okay, so next what we're going to do, beside one of our hooks and loop sections, we're going to notice we've got a split in the material here and here. That is for our handle straps. So what we're going to do is we're going to feed our handle strap down through there and make sure our buckle lands right up at the top. Okay, now we have both of our handle straps placed onto our canister liner. What we're going to do is set that back down. This, of course, is going to be for the front of the canister. We're going to grab the canister and place it centered on top of our canister liner. I went ahead and removed all the protective film from the canister. You want to make sure you do that before you go on to the next step. Next, what we've done, this is the front of the canister where we have the latch. Then down here, I've got this centered side to side so that I can fold that up and it meets right up to the top edge of the canister. So what we'll do is we'll take our adhesive promoter out of our kit and we'll run down the adhesive promoter along the edge where this is going to be adhering to the canister. And then we'll do that on the back side as well. Then we'll release the adhesive and set it in place onto the canister on the front. Then we'll pull it tight and do the same on the back. Make sure it stays centered and nice and tight. All right, lastly, what we're going to do is attach our drain tubes to the bottom of the canister. All right, now to install our lift handles, what we're going to do is move the lift levers to the up position. And then what we can do is push down on the inside. What that does is that straightens out that foot so that we can slide it into the canister. And then push down and slide the other one down into the canister as well. Once it's in place, we get it nice and centered and push down on the two lift levers. Repeat the same on the opposite side and then we can go ahead and assemble our rails. Okay, now we're going to go ahead and assemble our driver's side rail. And passenger side is the exact same, just a mirror image of everything. So what we're going to do is we're going to look at this. We're going to have an opening on the channel of the rail. This is where the cover slides back and forth through. And then up on this side right here, you'll notice we have two holes in the rail. And then down here, we've got a stopper. That gives you the proper orientation. Next, we're going to go to our driver's side bracket. Now, we're going to notice we've got a couple of notches that come down and then back in here. And then right here, we've got two threaded studs that are coming out. All right, next we're gonna go to our spacer bracket. Now on here, you're gonna have two holes that line up to our two studs. You're also gonna have this part that goes backwards towards the bulkhead. We're gonna go ahead and slide that over top of those studs. And then we're gonna take and slide those two studs through our rail. And that should allow everything to kind of line up like so. And then we're going to have our clamp bracket right here. This is our latch. It's going to line up to those studs as well and place this piece directly underneath our rail. Then we're going to take our nylock flange nuts, put those in place, and get them nice and snug using a 7/16 ratchet. So when we're all done, what we're going to have is our clip is going to be to the back side of this clamp and the latch is going to be to the front side. Let's go ahead and repeat the same process on the passenger side rail. We can go ahead and attach these to our bed caps. All right, here is our driver's side rail. We're going to set it up on the bed cap. Make sure that the opening is faced to the inside of the bed. Next, what we're going to do is go ahead and close the tailgate. And with the tailgate closed, this edge of the rail needs to come all the way back to the tailgate. We're going to have a spacer tool that gives us a 1/8 inch gap, and that's going to go in between the tailgate and the end of the rail to get the proper spacing on the rail to the tailgate. Okay, now we've got the correct spacing on the tailgate. Now I'm going to go ahead and lower the tailgate. Optimally, you'll probably want to keep the tailgate closed so that you can maintain that. We're just lowering this so that you get a better angle of what's going on. Now what we're going to do is take our clamp. Now I've already spaced it apart as far as it'll go without coming apart. And I'm going to go ahead and set it in between these two notches right here. Go ahead and tighten it by hand. Now once it's tightened by hand, we can go ahead and as we bear down, tighten it down with a 9/16. Double check and make sure your spacing does not come off of that 1/8 inch spacing between this shelf and the tailgate. Moving up to the next clamping location, we're going to install that the exact same way as the rear clamp. Okay, next what we're going to do is with the F-150 application, we're going to have a supplemental clamp that's got a weld nut on the back side of the clamp. This is going to go right behind the bed cap, and this right here is going to seat right inside this channel. So get it nice and lined up. And then slide it back to where the hole lines up here. We're going to take our 3/8 bolt with a lock washer and flat washer. I'm going to go through that and then tighten that down with the 9/16. We're going to bring that to 6 foot-pounds. Once we have our driver's side rail installed, we're going to do the exact same process for our passenger side rail. Then we want to make sure that our rails are parallel. So what we're going to do is we're going to measure from the T-slot on this side right in front of this adjustment screw to the T-slot on the opposite side right in front of that same adjustment screw. Then we're going to come back in between these two adjustment screws here, measure between the T-slots on these back here on the rails as well. Make sure those measurements are equal. If they are not, we need to adjust. You can use the provided Allen wrench in those adjustment screws. For reference, one turn clockwise with the Allen wrench moves the rail inwards 1/16 of an inch. If we adjust the adjustment screws at the clamp, we need to first remove the clamp, adjust the screws, and then reinstall a clamp. Now that we've got our rails all set exactly where they need to go, we can show you how to adjust the pitch of the rail. So the rail needs to have a slight pitch upwards. That way if any kind of rainwater is on top, it rolls to the outside. The way we're going to do that is we're going to turn our standoff bolt until it pushes against the side of the bed of the truck and gives us the pitch that we need. Once we've done that, we can go ahead and screw our jam nut all the way back to the clamp and then tighten that down using a 9/16. All right, repeat the same for the other 3 clamps. With 2 people, lift the canister assembly by the lift handles and set the canister onto the truck bed. Then have the 2 people climb into the truck bed, lift the canister to set the canister onto the mounting bracket boot retainer feature equally on each side. Make sure the canister is fully inserted and seated on the bed caps. Engage the canister into the mounting bracket boot retainer feature by pulling the canister toward you. Depress the spring tab on the driver's side latch assembly and open the draw latch. Rotate the draw latch around the latch bracket and press the draw latch until the spring tab is engaged. Ensure there is no visible gap or misalignment in the rail caps on both rails and canister rails. Okay, now in our kit, what we're going to find is our quick disconnect for our drain tube. And then we're also going to have some hook and loop that's going to attach. So what we're going to do is we're going to take our adhesive promoter. We're going to go ahead and open that up. And then get some adhesive promoter on the surface. All right, and then once we let that flash, what we're going to do, remove the adhesive protector from the back of that. And we're going to adhere it. Next, what we're going to do is take our other piece of hook and loop, line it up, and just press that into place. All right, now we're going to take our other drain tube and slide it over the barbed end. All right, next we're going to slide this end out a hole in the bed of the truck to be able to route our water out. All right, now we're going to see where it's going to terminate. This one we're going to have terminate right here because the drain tube from our canister will be able to drop right into that. So what we're going to do is clean off this surface right here with rubbing alcohol and then apply our adhesive promoter. And set that in place. Bear down, get good pressure, and set our drain tube in there. Trim the drain tube if you have too much coming up to it, and then repeat the same process on the opposite side. All right, now go ahead and remove the lift handles. They can be stored on the canister with the included storage straps. Well, that concludes the installation. If you have any questions, call the experts, visit us online, or check out our list of dealers near you.